Los Angeles, the city of the angels and the movie capital of the world, where the stars are celebrated. And no star burns brighter than Sharon Stone, the woman who defined the femme fatale for the modern cinema. Sharon Stone's key roles were bad, beautiful, and very dangerous to know. A near-death experience 20 years ago provoked a fundamental reassessment in Sharon Stone's outlook in life. She traded in Hollywood glamour for an artist's brush and a commitment to world peace. I've come to Beverly Hills to meet the superstar herself and, of course, chat over some Turkish tea. Sharon, how lovely to see you again.
Hey, how are
And
you?
thanks for doing this.
Sure, it's my pleasure.
Thank you. You have to go first, I'm Scottish. Sharon Stone, you're...
Who are you?
I'm Alex Salmond, and it's Turkish Tea Talk with us both together. I was going to say, look, you're an iconic actor. You've redefined the femme fatale for the modern cinema. But for the last few years, you've spent 17 hours a day painting. You're now a full-time artist. I mean, what's happened?
Well, I was really thinking about this the other day, like just really, really thinking about it and thinking about how rarely women get to be whatever they really want to be. And I loved painting growing up. I just really loved it. And when I went to college, I was 15. I was in an advanced study program. And I went on a writing scholarship. And I love to write. And I love to paint. And I painted a lot in school. And I didn't want to go back home. I stayed in school in the summers. And in the summer, I took the things that I wanted to take. I took watercolors and things like that and golf, right? And I was thinking a lot about the other day how I took the things I wanted to take, not the things I was supposed to take. But of course, it's taken all these other things that I've done to create value for my paintings, because female artists do not get to have value, right? We look at all of these wonderful female artists, and they don't even get to be seen until they're dead. I'm gonna have a little sip of tea here. But if you're a woman, there's actually no interest in even looking at your work until you're dead.
But there's a fair amount of interest in your work, Sharon Stone, because you're on your 5th exhibition in just a few years.
I decided to paint anyway. This painting is called His Majesty.
Uh-huh.
And it's sort of a fox. And it's this kind of, I had this idea that it was very 60s.
Uh-huh.
And it was like that cool guy in the 60s with the sports car, with the convertible sports car. You know, I don't know, I had this whole vibe about this painting.
I used to pretend to be that guy, but I crashed the car, so it didn't work. You've said there's a kind of Japanese undertone in many of your own paintings.
Yeah, I have a great respect for the Asian, the simplicity and the discipline in the ability to tell in a painting with the limited amount of movement and color to tell a story and to understand, but that has to be free. I decided to paint because I wanted to. And I decided to paint because I didn't care if they looked at it
following
or
your bliss.
Not, because I decided to follow my bliss.
But there's one other aspect that when you're an actor, then you do great interpretations, you do great roles and things, but you're following somebody else's script and direction probably, even though you put your own interpretation on it.
Which have been written by men,
Yeah.
all of which were directed by men, all of which were sold and owned by men.
But your painting is you. That's your interpretation of the world from your perspective.
Right.
And you prefer that. Would you love to be in a world where you could do cinema like that?
What I would really like is to just have women acknowledged as peers in the cinema world. I would just like to have housekeepers paid the same amount of money, whether you're black or white or male or female. I would like to have bus drivers paid the same, no matter what color you are and no matter what gender you are. I would like to have everyone have a fair shake at any profession they'd like to do and just be seen by the quality of their labor. You know, an artist is an artist. Once I made Basic Instinct, everybody wanted me to just do movies where I was a sex symbol, right? So it was so I spent a period of years where I just played character parts in independent films.
If I may say so, your characters were a bit more than sex symbols. I mean, you were bad, beautiful, and dangerous to know. You played powerful women, not just sex symbols.
You took a lie detector test after you shot those two people, didn't you?
Do you know the cure for that? Family. I find that children fill that void.
I'm sure you realize for me that's not particularly practical advice.
Well, you could drop that soutane.
I also played waitresses who were people's moms. I played mothers of I played a mother of a 23-year-old, former girlfriend of Bill Murray. I played an older mother whose son was kidnapped and killed, who lost her mind and gained 150 pounds. I played all kinds of other characters.
You know, people tell me all the time how lucky I am to be married to you. How wonderful you are. And I agree. I say, yes, he's wonderful. Yes, I am lucky.
That people don't really acknowledge that I played or that I did because they want to keep remembering me as this one thing.
You like playing games, don't you?
I have a degree in psychology. It goes with the turf. Games are fun.
What about boxing? That's a game. Was that fun too?
I don't think that's relevant to this inquiry.
Boxing was fun till Manny died.
How'd you feel when he died?
I loved him. It hurt.
How'd you feel when I told you Johnny Barnes had died?
I felt like someone had read my book and was playing a game.
Let's talk about just the inequality. I mean, I read, whether it's true or not, but I mean, reportedly that Michael Douglas was paid $17 million for Basic Instinct and you were paid $500,000. Now, was that because at that time he was an established superstar?
He was an established, huge superstar, and they were taking a gamble on me.
But was there a male-female differential in terms of what people were paid as well as that?
Of course there was. When I went to make the second movie and had a certain fee structure, and then all kinds of things happened that were really inappropriate. As I grew as an actress, each movie after that, I wanted to get paid something. I wanted to break $1 million. And I heard, oh, there's no way we're going to pay a woman in the industry over $1 million. And I thought, well, what a weird sentence.
Okay, thank you for asking.
She was a queen around the casino. She brought in high rollers and helped them spread around a lot of money.
Hello.
Hey, Ginger, how you doing?
Great, and I have something for you. You got me covered? And
for you there.
do. Thank you very much.
Take care of yourself.
You know, I'm really proud to have taken Robert De Niro's advice and grown as an actor from having a career-defining dream come true of working with him. Because from the start, I wanted to work with him. I auditioned for Once Upon a Time in America.
Oh,
and I tested for Once Upon a Time in America. I mean, this was not my first up to bat with Mr. De Niro. I had met Bob in New York when I was a model, and he and Harvey Keitel came to my New Year's Eve party when I was 19 years old. And I was like, very good, you're here. My manifestation is working. Look who showed up at my party. Because you and I, sir, we're gonna be working together. And all through my life, I was like, good, I'm up to bat with you again. Oh, good, I'm up to bat with you again. You and I, sir, this is gonna happen. It was always my goal. My acting teacher said, what do you want to do? And I'm like, sit down across from Robert De Niro and hold my own. There was my manifestation of what I wanted to do was exact, it was clear, it was focused. That was my dream. He was my dream.
And you starred, of course, in a film with Gene Hackman, the Quick and the Dead, where you played a female gunslinger, which was another groundbreaking role. This wasn't the normal Western, was it?
You're not fast enough for me!
Today I am.
I thought Clint Eastwood had made the epitome of the Western when he made The Unforgiven. And I thought, I want to make a Western that's like, it has this sort of schism. It's like the Italian Westerns and the modern Western, and then it's a surrealistic thing. And I had this really kooky idea, and I got to produce it. So I got to get most of it together, you know, and I got to have Dante Spinotti shoot it, who I thought was just a master Italian cinematographer. And I got to get Sam Raimi to direct it, who the studio had no idea what I was doing, bringing in this, what they thought was a D-movie director who'd made these genius films, these amazing movies. And then, of course, he directed Spider-Man, their highest grossing film ever made. They didn't understand what the hell I was doing. And I wanted to put modern music on it. And they were like, no one puts modern music on a period film. Get out of here.
But you also, I understand, were influential in the selection of Russell Crowe, Leonardo DiCaprio, before they were famous and established. So you seem to have had an eye for the coming talent.
Well, they let me produce, and it's like, produce I was going to do, you know, because it's like, I'm obsessed with film. Like, I'm the kind of person that can watch a movie and tell you all the dialogue, you know what I mean? Tell you who did the makeup, tell you who made the costumes, tell you, like, everything about movies. You know, I love movies. Not like I like movies, not like I'm interested, like I love movies, you know?
Your autobiography and the beauty of living twice. Would it be right when you had not just a brush with death, but a full-scale collision with death?
Yeah.
Would you say you put everything into categories of before that happened to you and after that happened to you? Yeah. Would that be a reasonable assessment?
Yeah, yes.
Because it changed not just how you looked at life in the future, but how you looked at your life and career up until that point.
It's like the life that was this other person that you can claim as yours, life, but it doesn't feel like, oh, I was there. I did that. You could almost say it was like she, except the she is you. And I didn't remember all of it for a very long time, and I still don't remember all of it. But I get pieces of it back.
I mean, after that fundamental reassessment, with the brain hemorrhage and almost dying and reevaluating your priorities, you've done some amazing things. I mean, you've had a Nobel Peace Award for your work on AIDS and HIV.
When COVID happened and we shut down the world and you had to be with just you, now that was great for people who wanted to learn to bake bread. The whole world wanted to learn to bake bread, right? Then people wanted to learn other languages. I wanted to get back to my painting, right? But for those people who don't like who they got to be with, 1 in 10 people on a global level are having a mental problem, a mental crisis. 1 in 10 is what we already know is the count, okay? Because I'm working with World Health Organization, and we found out 1 in 10 on a global scale can't handle that. Already, for sure, we know that. Because the possibility of living with who you are as the only solid, people don't know who they are.
The essence of peacemaking, of course, is to confront your own demons.
We're all trying to confront our demons, and we're all acting out, me too, and trying to figure out how to keep getting back up, keep helping people up, even if we put them down, and make sure we're all back up. And what do? And right now, it's all this stuff is coming together. And to try to say it has to be our leaders, well, which leader do you think that's going to be?
Well, in short supply.
It must start with the individual. You must stand strong. And when you blow it, okay, so what? That was 2 steps ago. You got to get back up, get yourself together, and help whoever you think you bumped around, and keep moving forward. And instant forgiveness. Instant forgiveness for yourself, instant forgiveness for whoever shoved you down, and get back up and let's go. If you keep fighting wars that happened yesterday or 100 years ago or 1,000 years ago, why? What's the point of that?
So a question of leadership, though. I mean, you know, who now in world politics would come out of prison after 27 years like Mandela did and appeal for compassion and understanding?
Because Mandela went into prison and found out who he was. And he came out of prison to teach people how to be authentic and compassionate and empathetic and to stand on the good foot. Because Mandela was an icon of decency.
It gives me great joy to award her the Gorbachev Award.
Saying yes is a journey of conviction. It's a journey of putting your popularity behind you. It's a journey of standing up when standing up is hard. When standing up is the last thing you feel like doing. But stand up you must. Stand up is a question of solidarity. Peace is an action.
It must be incredibly satisfying, Phil. I mean, is it comparable with winning a Golden Globe to get a Nobel Peace Award?
You don't get to save lives winning a Golden Globe, you know what I mean? And so when I went to Poland, and then Les Velez asked me if I would be on a panel with him discussing how to create global peace, because he did the bloodless takeover of his country.
From the shipyards in Gdansk.
Yeah, and you look at a man like that, and I got to spend time with him and learn from him about how to create a peaceful revolution, a bloodless revolution. And I got to spend time with Shirin Ebadi, oh my God, who I just like, who left Iran, whose husband was put in prison, whose family was taken from her, who won the Nobel Prize for going against the government. I mean, just like these people who were so courageous. Betty Williams, who became my godmother, who created the Million Mom March in Ireland and stopped the uprising. Suddenly I was like, I'm in the right goddamn room. These are my people. I would stand in the street with these people. I would risk my lives with these people. These people get me, I get them. You know, I just like, it took 35 years, but I'm in the right room. And I never told people here in LA that I even won, you know. I went, my kid's godmother took her daughter because she wanted her to see me get it. But I didn't tell anybody because I thought, how can I tell people in the movie business that I won a Nobel Prize?
you got your platform to do the things you've done because of what you did.
Thank you.
You're devoting 17 hours a day to painting just now, but if the right part or the right project comes along, will you return to acting?
I'm looking for something that's really powerful and meaningful and good, comedically or dramatically, but something like that.
And I heard a hint that you might even be coming to Scotland to make a movie.
Well, I've heard rumors, but no one's approached me directly. So should that occur, you betcha. But because the closer I can get to my ancestors, the happier I'll be. I haven't mastered the Scottish accent. So I will need you to be my tutor.
Well, it'll take me probably about a fraction of a nanosecond to say yes to that.
About a fraction of a nanosecond.
Yes, I'm saying yes immediately.
Immediately.
I'm not even asking for the rates or for the pay or anything.
Because I'll bet you're expensive.
I'm just saying yes. No, I can.
I'll buy the food.
I can handle that job. Okay.
Okay. And
Well,
they say you have to gargle with razor blades.
Well, possibly. I mean, listen, look, if Mel Gibson could do it, I know that Sharon Stone can certainly do it. Let's put it that way.
That's true.
But no, that would be a rare privilege, and I'd be delighted to help. You starred in a Turkish, legendary Turkish drama, The Valley of the Wolves of Andy Garcia. It was long running and a huge phenomenon, but your presence in it was much noted in Turkey.
Andy and I both got a call to be on this Turkish television show, and we thought, well, great. And quite frankly, we were paid quite handsomely. So Andy and I went to the set, and no one spoke English but us. So they spoke Turkish to us, and we responded in English. And in the scenes, they spoke Turkish to us, and we responded in English. So Andy nor I had any idea what was happening. We didn't know what the scenes were about. We didn't know what we were doing. And we were so lost because we were in this huge set, this huge mansion, fabulous clothes, the most luxurious set ever. But no one spoke English and we didn't know what we were doing. And I was looking at Andy and I was like, I have no idea what's happening. He's like, me neither.
So what I'm most curious about is how did you rise this far without a woman behind you?
If I had a woman behind me, she could have hold somebody else's arm.
Well, I think Andy was a kind of mafia don, and you were his scheming wife.
Right, kind of, but we didn't know what they were saying to us.
Yes, I know, but
we only knew what we were saying to them.
But that made the performance all the more convincing. It made you come across as quite sinister. So, I'm now going to start my role, my temporary role as your speech coach for this forthcoming Scottish movie, by introducing you to some Scottish phrases. And the one I've chosen is a phrase that used to be used predominantly by men to women, but now, because times have changed, thankfully, probably more women to men, which is...
You mean Hodja Quist?
Hodja Wisht.
Hodja Quist.
Wisht.
Wisht.
That's it.
Hodja Wish.
My God, I think you've got it. Hodja Wisht.
Hodja Wish.
Which means, keep quiet, say no more. Tais-toi. That is not
is
something
it like
that,
shut your mouth?
Yes, but not something you and I have ever done.
Hodja Wish.
But it's handy. That's exactly right.
Hodja Wish.
You are now an honorary Scot.
What's that?
It's the Saltire, this flag of Scotland, the St Andrew's Cross.
Isn't that where one of the Princess Diana's children went to school, or both of them?
In St Andrews, the royal family, Prince William and Kate, met at St Andrews University.
That's what I thought.
And, so it's St Andrew's Cross, that's correct.
Right.
I went there myself, but just slightly before the royal couple did. And sweet. I was unusual because I was a Scot there.
I wish her well.
So do we all. But the flag of Scotland, the Saltire, is caused by an ancient battle which united Scotland. The Scots weren't getting on too well, and they looked up at the sky, the blue sky, and they saw the flag of St Andrew in the sky. And then they, encouraged by this sign, they told the enemy to hold their wheat. They charged, were victorious, and after that, the St Andrew's Cross became the flag of Scotland.
Oh, it's a beautiful color. That's just lovely.
That's for you, Sharon.
Oh, wow.
But we also...
I will wear that.
Because of your performance in Valley of the Wolves and your contribution to the film and television industry of Turkey, and for appearing on Turkish Tea Talk with Alex Salmond, this is your own Turkish tea set.
Thank you very much. I've enjoyed being on Turkish Tea Talk.
Thank you, Sharon Stone.
Thank you.